What's going on, sports cars fans? Ray from Philly here, and welcome to Sports Car Talk episode number 20. First, I want to bring on my co host, Mike, this baseball card life. Mike, welcome aboard, buddy.
All right, it's great to be back with you again.
Well, we got a special announcement that we're doing tonight on a very special project that you and I put together, and we're doing a seven-part series. And what's going on is, if some of you haven't noticed or didn't know, this year, Topps is celebrating their 70th anniversary. So this is 70 years in Topps. So we thought, why not do a series on each year's card just to kind of show you guys the evolution of the cards. So we're going to break this down by decade, because if we showed you 70 years of cards on one episode, we'll be here for 70 years.
Yeah.
So we're going to break it down. This first episode we're going to do is for the 50s. So we're breaking it down from 1951 to 1959 Topps, the evolution of Topps. We're really looking forward to this. We hope you enjoy it. So, Mike, let's get started on the evolution of the Topps baseball card.
Yeah. All right, so I spent some time putting some slides together so you guys can get a great image and view of these cards instead of me just showing a card in my hand.
Right.
All right, so 70 years. So Topps, has a 70-year streak of, making Topps baseball cards. So, and here we go. So the name Topps, it was named after a phrase, tops in the field, and Topps added the P, for brand recognition. So that's when they changed their name, I think back in 1938 or something like that.
Right.
So some people don't know, but Topps actually had some baseball cards prior to 1951.
Yeah.
And that set is this 1948 Topps like Magic Photos.
Yeah.
And it was a 242 card set. And there was only 19 cards of baseball players. There was football and all kinds of non-sports in it also. And these cards are super, super small. So those of you that, collect graded cards, you can see how small they are. They're just a little bit bigger than a stamp.
Yeah, they look like stamps.
Yeah, they're really small. So when you would purchase these cards, you would just have the back. That's the only way you could see it. You had to go into the sunlight and put the card out there. It was all white, and then it would, develop like an old school photo.
Right. Pretty cool.
Yeah. So that's one of the highlighted guys is Lou Gehrig. I think there's a Babe Ruth and a few others, but just so people know, Topps did exist before 1951.
Yep.
So speaking of 51, this was the set that they made. It was actually like a playing deck, because there's 52 cards, and, if you play Rummy or whatever game you would play. So this was their first set, and it was a total of 104 cards, and there was 52 red back cards and 52 blue backs. And the only Hall of Famer in it is of Monty Irving, 51 Topps there, you can see. And there's Richie Ashburn was a star in the Blues.
Right.
And then you can just see the size difference between 51.
Big difference.
And going into 52. It was hard to really show, but it's a lot bigger card.
Yeah.
So you can see the difference there. And 52 iconic set, and that we're going to get into right now. So the 51 had 104 cards, and the 52 like quadrupled it with 407.
Huge.
Yeah.
And of course, this is the iconic set of 52 Topps. I mean, the imagery on this is classic.
Yeah.
Great card set.
Yep. So I think there was 310, I believe, was the first initial release. And then cards number 311, which is Mickey Mantle, to 407 were these high numbers, which were released later in the year, and we'll show those. But first, I'll show the back so you can see the difference and just the effect of Topps employees like Cy Berger, who really is like on the Mount Rushmore of baseball card important guys in the hobby. Yeah, so he was a accountant by trade, so he loved numbers. So that's why he put stats in the back of these cards. He really helped
Right.
design them.
I mean, just look at the difference. The 51s just look like a plain deck of cards.
Yeah, it wasn't much of a hit at all.
No.
52 was a big change.
Yeah.
So, all right. And also, I just want to point out, like, just the way the world was back then, it would show you where they were born, you know, in North Carolina, and then where they lived now. Like,
Yeah.
you know, people weren't as private, like, oh, this is where I live now. And
Just an unbelievable change just in 1 year.
Yep.
Stats, demographics of the player,
height, weight, everything. Yep.
everything.
Yep. So here's the iconic card, which is the first card in that high numbered, which is you know, the second released cards, because the first 310 did so well.
Mhm.
And you can see these paints, you know, this iconic Mickey Mantle card. If I could talk, you know, they use an actual image from a photo.
Mhm.
So it's just beautiful.
Yeah, that's a big time card, man. Classic card.
Yep. So, was it last year? This guy named Tom Zappala, who was who was on Facebook and does a PSA group that Ray can tell us a little bit more about.
Yeah, Tom Zappala is an award-winning author. Him and Red Sox Hall of Famer Rico Petrocelli host a show called the Great American Sports Collectibles Show. And Tom has written many books on baseball cards.
Mm-hmm.
This book that Mike is showing is about the 1952 card set, Baseball and Bubblegum, the 1952 Topps collection. We highly recommend going out and getting this book. It shows in detail, great stories, great detail of that iconic set. So I would highly recommend checking out Tom's book, amongst other books that Tom's written. But this one is by far a great book.
Yeah, it shows every image of every card in like incredible condition. It's just awesome, all in color. It's awesome. So all right, let's keep going. So the first 80 cards in the set have like two different backs, the black backs and the red backs. And here's Gil Hodges. You can see how the different colors there.
Mm-hmm.
But then after the first 80 cards, they had, I believe, all blacks after that.
Right.
So here's some Hall of Famers here: Rizzuto, Mays, and Pee Wee Reese. Beautiful cards there.
Yep.
And here's some other ones: Hall of Famer Johnny Mize. Here's a common, and Sherman Lawler. I just love the photo with him and his giant mitt. And then Gus Zernal with all those baseballs, you know, stuck onto his bat.
Do you know the symbol? The reason for that picture?
He hit like what, 6 home runs in 2 games or something, or 3 games.
Well, there's many stories that I'm hearing. One story I heard is there's 6 baseballs on the bat, and then he's holding a 0. So he was trying to say that he would hit 60 homers.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's one of the stories, but there's no one's really exactly sure. But again, with the facsimile autographs too, these cards adds just more to it.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. All right, here's a couple more iconic cards. You know, Eddie Matthews rookie card, one of the most expensive Topps rookie cards that's ever been produced, because it's in that high numbered, the last card of the set.
Right.
So, and then of course Jackie Robinson there in the high numbers also. And then we'll start moving forward here. You got the 51, 52, and then in 53 they dropped their numbers in the set to 274. Topps actually had 280 cards for the set, but 6 cards, or they couldn't produce because they couldn't get the contracts of the players. But these are also images from actual photos. And here's Satchel Paige, Hall of Famer, and you can I found a photo of the art before Topps like put their stamps and logos over top of it. So I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, that set is just beautiful, beautiful artwork. Every card in there, the detail. That's why it's such a popular set from the 50s.
Yep. And they used actual photo images for their paintings. You can see with Willie Mays. That's really great. And here's some other great Hall of Famers there. Jackie, Mickey, and Bob Feller.
Look at the detail behind Jackie Robinson with I think that's the Brooklyn Bridge, if I'm not mistaken.
Mhm. Beautiful. Yep. All right, so we got 51, 2, and 3, and now we're moving into 54, and you can see Tommy Lasorda there on the right. So you got 250 total cards in this set. Here's a more zoomed in view of the 54s. And I just love the design, especially on the back.
They pop. The colors just pop.
Yep. Yep. And the first card in the set is of Ted Williams, and the last card in the set is of Ted Williams. So it's kind of Ted Williams bookends.
And we want to tell people too, why is card number 1 and the last card of these sets a lot of money? So a lot of people know the story, but some might not. Is because when kids back in the day, the card number 1 would be on top and the last card would be on the bottom, and with the rubber bands put around them, the first card on top and that last card on the bottom will be subjected to getting a lot of dings on the edges from the rubber bands, where anything in between there was kind of safe, but that top card and the bottom card usually got dinged up. That's why card number 1 and the last card of the sets are always pretty valuable.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if top loaders were around in the 50s. So they just put them in shoe boxes, a lot of them. So, yeah. All right, so we'll keep moving here. The 3 iconic rookie cards from 54.
Awesome
Hank,
cards.
Kaline, and Banks. I'll recommend getting those. They're not cheap at all, but needed to mention that. And here's 3 other cards. There's that Jackie there in the center. And I wanted to show this Heine Manouche guy on the right-hand side. He's a Hall of Famer and started playing in the 1920s with the Detroit Tigers. So he was managed and played with, greats like Ty Cobb.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was really awesome. And then on the left is this Ed and John O'Brien card, which is very unique for this set. They were, I believe, twins.
Yeah.
And might have been the first players to be on the same team that were brothers.
Right.
I could be wrong there. So
no, you're right. And this is a card that's in the 300 set by Mike Payne because of that. So
yep, very unique.
Smaller card, yeah.
Yep. And now we'll keep moving forward. So 52, 53, 54, and 55. So you can see 55 really dropped to 200.
Really dropped, yeah.
To 206 cards in 1955, and they changed the design from the vertical to horizontal. And part of the reason for the 206 cards only was the legal battles that Topps was having with Bowman and just rights to players' contracts and just being in court all the time.
Yeah.
So they had to rush to make a set. So here's a closer look at that card, and just really iconic design. Just love the comics there on the back and the trivia. Really easy to read everything. So
it made it fun for kids to look up that kind of stuff too, with the comics and stuff. It's great.
Yeah, and the stats on the bottom kind of look like the 52s a little bit there with that year and then the life. So. All right, so here are 3 awesome rookies from that 55 set, the Sandy, the Harm Killebrew, and the Clemente. And then I also wanted to kind of show you the change from 55 to 56, which definitely wasn't as drastic as 54 to 55. You can see how they used the same photo of Monty, right?
They did that for a lot of the players, actually, from 55 to 56. Hank Aaron, I think, there's just a lot of the same headshot pictures that you see.
Yep. And because Topps bought Bowman for like $200,000 in January of 1956, they were able to have contracts with so many more players, which is why you've got 340 cards instead of 206.
Right.
So we'll show some more here. Here's another image for
same. Yeah, see, it's the same image, same picture.
Yep. Do you have a preference? I kind of like the sliding there of 56.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, 56 has got some great images,
especially in the background. Yep.
Yeah.
All right, we'll keep going. And there's a iconic card of Mickey Mantle. Just love this one.
Yeah.
Just yeah.
If
One of
you're a
the top,
mantle collector, you got to have this card. You were telling me this earlier. It's just
yeah,
a must have.
must have for if you're collecting Mantle or love 50s cards.
50s cards too, right?
Yep. All right, and then in 56 they started doing these team cards, which I really love. And when we were prepping for this episode, you mentioned, this is the 55 Brooklyn Dodgers that won the World Series. So that's their photo there.
That's a great card to have. The 56 Topps Brooklyn Dodgers team card, because it's showing the 55 world champion. I think that's giving me an idea here, Mike. I'm going to probably get this card. It looks like a great card to get.
Yeah. This one's definitely on my list of cards I want.
Yeah.
So, all right, we'll keep moving. And there's only 2 cards, and these are the 2 cards in that 56 set that are vertical. And that's because they have photos of Orange Giles and William Harridge. How would you say his name? Harridge?
That's right. William Harridge. Yeah.
Yep. President of the National and American Leagues. So let's see what we have next. So we move from 56 to 57, which is big change.
Big change.
So this evolution really changes from 56 to 57. So let's move over here. So you got Roy Campanella. You can see the card size change to the more modern size, the standard size cards. Yep. And also on the back is the first year for like complete year by year stats. So there were stats in 52 all the way through 56, but it didn't show each year by year and the complete major league. So that was a big decision that Topps made.
That's a huge decision to show all the stats like that.
Yep.
And the photographs.
Yep. Absolutely. So we'll just keep moving. There's 4 Hall of Fame rookie cards in it. So you got Bill Mazeroski, Frank Robinson, Brooks Robinson, and Jim Bunning. So those are 4 cards from the set that Ray wants or has. So I think you've got 3 of them, don't you?
Yeah.
You're just missing the Brooks, I think.
Yeah.
So, all right, we'll keep moving. Here's 4 other cards in the set that I wanted to talk about. So they did the American League president and National League president in just 1 card for in 57. And then this awesome Hank Aaron card is actually like a reverse negative, so it makes him look like he's batting the wrong way.
Right.
So, and then a really cool card, Ted Williams. I think this is the first card in the set. And then this Yankees power hitters, which I think you just got last year.
Yeah, this is part of the 300 set. Actually, 3 of those, the Aaron, the Williams, and the power hitters, is all part of the 300 set. That was a big card. Yeah, they're awesome cards. The reverse imagery of the Hank Aaron card with that uniform and the logo on the shoulder pops, and it's real photographs too.
Yep. Yeah, first year that they use real photos and not just paintings.
Right.
Let's see what we have next. Here's a team card from that year. Their last year in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Ebbets Field. Yep. All right, so we'll keep moving. So at 56, 57, and now 58, boom, they have 494 cards, which is the largest set ever. Okay, and I used Hank Aaron's card as an example. And here's a closer look of the front and the back. I did read that there's variations to some of the cards, like the Hank Aaron is shown here in white letters, actually,
right?
But there's a yellow backs, and there might be blue. Right. But I didn't want to get into the weeds with that, but there are different variations.
Yeah.
And we'll keep moving forward. There's 9 combo cards in the 58 set. So through this Topps evolution, they're really adding these subsets. Like
this is when you're right. This is when we're starting to see the subsets now come into the picture. Yeah. In 1958.
Yep. So there's really interesting paintings of actual photos with K-Line and Mays and Duke. So I like those. Then they made this 21 sports magazine subset, and that was at the end of the actual 58 set.
Right. It's an awesome set.
Yep.
American League in red, National League in blue, and the symbolicness of the usual card is that this is his first Topps card.
Mhm. Yeah.
He was always in Bowman before that. So
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of sad that he doesn't have more Topps
yeah.
cards. And I read that he agreed to have this card
Hmm.
if Topps donated to one of his charities.
Oh, right, right.
So, yep. So that's a great subset and
Yeah,
an affordable Mickey Mantle. If you want to just buy an affordable Mickey Mantle, this is one of them that you can
that's the
get.
one to get. Yeah, because it was triple printed.
Yep. All right. And here's a couple of great cards also from that 58 set. The rookie card of Roger Maris, which is a very, very expensive card.
Yeah, it jumped up for this year.
Yeah.
It really jumped up this year.
Yep. And then you got Orlando Cepeda. He's the only rookie card of a Hall of Famer in the 58
Hmm.
set. All right. And also, if you look at a checklist, in 58, was supposed to be 495 cards, but there's actually only 494 that were printed. And that's because this guy named Ed Boucher, he was pulled from the set due to being convicted of a crime, and they suspended him like partway through 1958. So you won't be able to get a 1958 Ed Boucher card, but he is in like 1960, and he did continue to play. So just wanted to note that. And here's I just like showing these team cards. So it's a 58 set team card again.
Right.
And now we're moving from 57, 58 to 59, the last set.
Look at the size.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
572. So Topps had another record year of cards. And I actually went onto baseballreference.com and looked at all the rosters for all the 16 teams in 1959. And there were a total of 630 total players that actually played an inning or a game in 1959.
Yep.
So this is far from, in 2020 when there's 30 teams in Major League Baseball. So you can see the difference there. Okay, so let's look closer at Stan Musial's card. Yeah, I just love that it has 3,116 total hits.
Yeah.
And just his incredible stats is 340 average, career average there. It's just what a dream. And he missed a year in 45.
Yep.
So awesome. All right, and then there's another subset called Baseball Thrills, and there's 10 cards in that subset. And here's four cards that I really liked.
Yeah, that one card, the Mays Catch, is in the 300 set as well. That's a fun set to do. The 10 Baseball Thrill cards, great looking cards.
Yeah, and they're not super expensive either. Especially of these iconic Hall of Famers. So, yep. All right, and then there's another subset called the Sporting News cards.
Beautiful.
Yep. You got the National League in red and American League in blue. So there's two from Hank and Mickey there. And then this is really interesting. There's 16 teams in Major League Baseball at the time. So you got 16 team cards. And this is the first year that Topps did like checklists there on the back, which was the real reason why I was showing all these team cards through the whole 50s. So you can see this is the first time, kids could go and take a pen or pencil and start checking off, the players that they wanted or had and needed and stuff. So I thought that was cool.
Yeah, very cool.
Yep. But not so cool is what happened to Roy, of course. This is Roy got hurt and paralyzed. He was a Hall of Famer from the Brooklyn Dodgers. He was in a car accident on January 28th. I have this written down in 1958. So this is the 59 set. So right at the tail end of the set, they made this tribute card for him, and which was really, really awesome that they did that. Yeah, it's in your 300 set too, Ray.
Yeah, this is another one in the 300 set by Mike Payne. Yeah.
Yep. So that was great to add there. And here's three other cards in the set. So we have Sparky Anderson there on the right, rookie card. You got Bob Gibson, which is the rookie card in the 59 set. Then I included Lou Burdett, there on the left. And that's just because when I was reading about this set, this was talked about a lot on websites. And the reason is, you can go ahead, Ray, and explain.
The reason behind this card for Lou Burdett is that Lou Burdett was a right-handed pitcher, but Lou thought it would be funny if he showed being a left-handed pitcher. So
In his photo, yeah.
a guffaw for Mr. Lou Burdett.
Yep. All right, well, let's keep going. So there's some more subsets here, the rookie stars. So here's an example of one of the 31 rookie stars. And there's the first card in the set is Ford Frick. So he's the commissioner of baseball. Yep. So I guess they got rid of the two presidents and just made one commissioner at that time.
Right.
And then there's also another subset of these combo cards. And there's an example of Kaline and Maxwell there on the right-hand side. And then to end it all, you can just see the changes in the set sizes from 51 through 59. Yeah,
you could see, when Bowman was becoming a factor from 52 to 53, 53 to 54, 54 and 55, it was just dropping. And then that was it for Bowman in 55. And that's when you see Topps shoot right back up.
Yep. Yeah. So that's what I have for slides, and just to show off, how Topps grew and their story from the 1950s.
It's a long history with this company that has turned around generations of people just to enjoy the hobby and collect baseball cards. 7 years, long time to be having the same company out when there's been other companies that have come and gone.
So, Ray, which set of those, 8 or 9 sets is like your favorite?
I would have to say I like the 57 because of using the real photographs and seeing the full stats in the back is probably my first choice. They're kind of plain. I understand a lot of people are like, well, there's really not a lot of stuff to it, but I like that. I love 53 with the imagery, the artistic design on 53 is just awesome. And I'd say 54 because they're bright colors in 54. They're probably my top 3.
Yeah, mine's I would say 52, but I really like all of them except not much in 51 or 58. 58 isn't my favorite, but overall, just an iconic. I say that word a lot tonight, but it's just an iconic decade for baseball cards.
Oh, it's the golden age of baseball cards is that decade, in my opinion. There's no competition with other car companies, and the design and Topps really just knocked it out of the ballpark from 52 to 59.
Yeah, in the 50s decade with Bowman starting and really kicking Topps butt there at the beginning.
Yeah, they were.
And maybe we could do an episode on that someday. But the Bowman there, and then there was all kinds of food and beverage cards, and I don't know if exhibits were there. There's all kinds of different baseball cards back then that you could collect. So it's an awesome decade.
Yeah, the best decade by far, in my opinion. I mean, it's got the greatest players, so why not have the greatest baseball cards? That's just my opinion. But it's a fantastic decade for Topps for baseball cards. It's just every year they just outdid themselves. And we can go into the war that between Bowman and Topps sometime too. That was legendary.
Yeah, I would love to do that, but we're at around a half hour, so I don't want to make this episode super long and bore people. But it's just awesome to learn about it and show the community just how great this decade was.
So we appreciate everyone tuning in. We hope you enjoyed this. Like we said, we're going to do this into segments. We're doing 7 parts: the 50s, the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, and 2010s. So again, this was a special episode on a 7-part series that we're going to be showing you guys for the history of Topps. This is their 70th anniversary. Make sure you go out and buy 2021 Topps baseball cards because this is their 70th anniversary. Mike, anything else you have to say about this? I mean, this was a great, fun episode. I love looking at all these cards and the evolution just changing is awesome.
Yeah, it's been great to research and get, prep for this episode,
Yeah.
and just I'm excited to get into the 60s. I'm learning a lot. You've
Yeah.
about tops in general, and also if the viewers, if I'm not covering something, leave a comment, down
Hmm.
below, like what more we should add to these episodes to make them better.
Hmm.
We're definitely open to changing the format a little bit or tweaking this or that. So
Hmm.
yeah, definitely leave feedback. We will read the comments.
Yeah. And let us know, what is your favorite set from the
Yeah,
50s too,
yeah,
between 51 and 59. We gave you ours. Now you give us yours.
yeah.
So that's it, Mike. I think we covered all the bases. So we are really appreciative of you guys tuning in to episode number one. This is our 20th episode on Sports Card Talk, but this is the first part of a 7-part series on the 70 years evolution of Topps baseball cards. We hope you enjoyed it. We hope you tune in next time for episode number 2 on the 60s, 60 to 69. Thanks again,
Awesome.
Mike, for helping out, and appreciate
Yep.
it. Great episode, a lot of fun. And like we always say, have fun with it. We'll see you guys real soon.